as well?
Yeah.
Sick.
Yes.
Just need to log into my Legend Keeper. And then I'll be good.
Sick. Okay. Okay, yeah. We have some like stuff, like mechanical stuff to go over from last session and our first combat, and then some like updates of mechanics I have learned about while reading about those things in the first place. But we'll get to those after our normal intro, which I sent to the chat also, the order of that. And yes. Okay. Anything from anyone else? I need to change the word redacted in here before I just read that off again.
Okay. Sister of mine.
Mhm.
Do you have the Legend Keeper open?
No, yeah, I'm just typing in my stupid code.
Yummy.
Okay. Now I'm in.
Okay. Once you get to your character page, right below your character page, there should be in the sidebar thing that says moves, right?
I'll take some as well.
Mm-hmm.
Me too.
Can you click on the triangle
You
there?
can just bring them over here and I'll take them back.
The triangle.
Yeah, like the little drop-down menu.
I mean, do you see basic moves below that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, can you then click on the triangle for basic moves and then battle and combat moves?
Okay.
So that's the list of things you can do. So, just kind of navigate through
There's
that in the
nothing here.
background for your... What?
No, like in that sidebar, if you drop down menu battle and combat moves and drop down menu basic moves, it gives you all the stuff underneath.
There's nothing here. It's just empty here. I'll take a picture and send it to Gabe. I don't see anything. Am I clicking on the wrong thing? Let me see.
You're just in case you're just supposed to click on the little triangle next to the words. If you click on if you go to the page itself, there is going to be nothing there. But if you click on the triangle drop down menu, it brings a bunch of other things.
Oh, I see the triangle. Now all I saw was the helmet. The
Yeah.
wasn't there. Okay, here we go.
Those are the list of like in-game easy access moves. I'm probably going to make one up for searching, like in sort of like an investigation check, because we find that I have seen us do that like 3 times already. And so why not make a move that like the game literally just says, like, if you find yourself doing something often that there isn't a move for, make a move up for it, if you would like. And so I feel that I'll probably end up doing that for searching something. So there'll be another addition to this list. There's been a few updates to this list as well, particularly in the form of, let me find it here, harm. There's a little section under the levels of harm you can face and for what. Like, oh, you get hit by a car, it's this much. You hold a grenade while it blows up, it's this much, whatever. There's a little bit called exchanging harm. We're playing 2E, and this is a section only from 2E, so I missed it the first time around. But it's about exchanging harm. Some moves just tell you to exchange harm, but before you do, roll this, and so you'll get to adjust how you exchange harm. Imagine combat, right? That is particularly important to combat. In which most of the time you will be exchanging harm. So like in the case where Lawrence is throwing a knife at a dude who's holding a gun, you would exchange probably a little bit of harm there, but with armor and like your choices you make after you roll the addition, like maybe that's reduced down to 0, or maybe you do more harm, or maybe you get them to drop their gun like you want. That exchanging
sort of like
harm
Monster
will
of
come
the
up.
Week that way.
Yeah. The particular thing that I noticed it in is not seize by force. What is it? I don't think it was go aggro. There's like a combat move. That I'm trying to think of on the top of my head. Give me one moment. Oh, single combat. Single combat is a great version of that down in the battle combat moves. Like if you're just 1v1ing someone with your fists, you exchange harm, but first roll, and if you roll well, then shit happens. You basically, in that case, it's inflicting more harm or taking less harm in the combat, and then we narrate that in. As far as combat goes, go aggro. Even though I was full bore behind it last time, is particularly when you are not in combat. And I wrote that there, and Gabe, you pointed it out to me, and for some reason I ignored that sentence and was gung-ho about that being our combat. And that is, in fact, the combat initiator move, right? That's like when you're in a standoff and we don't quite know what to do or how to get what we want. Like, if you're going to push someone out of your way, you're going aggro. It's not combat yet, but gives you some narrative movement in that motion. Sometimes avoiding combat entirely if you make them back off, right? Like, there is options to avoid the combat. When you're in combat, the seize by force is what they say to roll, and it makes sense if we just ignore that it's called seize by force to me, but that's what they say. Like, in combat, just roll seize by force, and ignore this like first option if there's nothing to take hold of, because the very first option is like when you're picking, you can choose to take definite hold of it, quote unquote. But there's also variations down below that replace definite hold with other things if you are doing something in particular. Any other time, if there's not a move here, like investigating, which I still may make a move for, you're doing something under fire if it's an important thing. The under fire being under stress, or being like, well, we don't have any evidence to go off of and we need a fucking clue. That's the fire, right? There's still a stressor here. It just may not be under gunfire or under burning building fire. So do something under fire is your bread and butter. Some of us have in our books, it says like, there's like a different phrasing of it for some reason. Don't remember what that is. Acting under fire or something along those lines. That's the same situation. Everything else I'll do in narrative. So for now, that's just the mechanics I wanted to hit over. Does anyone have any questions about those mechanics at the moment?
Not at the moment.
Cool. I also added in an advanced section. In order to use the advanced portion of it's only going to be in basic moves, and it's only on 6 of them. That's just the book made those. In order to use the advanced section, you have to level up into it, which we will talk about how to, like, what the level ups mean here at the beginning. But you just basically ignore advanced and below until you have taken something to be allowed to use an advanced move. But I just wanted to put them in there so that you would know what they would be. Okay.
Which ones are there?
I think, okay, so we have read a sitch, open your brain, do something under fire, go aggro, read a person, and seduce or manipulate. Seduce or manipulate's like the biggest one, I think, because it
That's
changes
the one I'm gonna have to start doing so I can level up.
the nature. Well, for you, we also have something here at the start, but we will get to everything else here at the start in our little. We're gonna have a little sit aside and deal with our barter portion of the game after we welcome everyone in. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice Arcade Apocalypse. This season, utilizing the Powered by the Apocalypse system to tell the stories of the citizen of Ted. Damn it. I got all tripped up on myself. This season, utilizing the Powered by the Apocalypse system to tell the story of the citizens of Tedville and their quest to return the good wets to its good people. I'm M, and I am the Master of Ceremonies, the MC. That just does not roll off the tongue. Runner of Wastes, yeah. Our question this week is, what is your favorite arcade game? And if we ran a competition as like a group between the 5 of us, do you think you would win with it, even, being your favorite or not? And to answer that question, I think that my favorite arcade game, it's a toss-up. It's a toss-up, and it's a skill-based toss-up. I really, really enjoy the like House of the Dead or the games where you stand there with a gun and you're shooting the zombies as they come up, but I'm trash at them. Never have I been good at them since Duck Hunt, and even then not so great. But I'm so bad at them, but I love them. I think it's just so cool. The machine is so like catchy, and like I like watching it too if I'm not good. But the other toss-up is just flat out skee ball. I think I'm pretty good. I think I'm pretty fucking good at skee ball, and I enjoy doing it. I don't necessarily know that I would do good if it's a competition of us in a gun game if Lawrence is playing, but I think at skee ball I might be able to compete. I don't know though. Skee ball, I feel like everyone's got some skee ball skills and would be willing to tell you about their skee ball skills for the most part. It's a more common skill set, I feel. I don't know. But yeah, those are my favorite arcade games.
My second.
Mhm.
Excellent. I'm second, and I'm Theodore, and I play Dill.
Seamless.
Wow. That's crazy.
It's all in the tone. So long as you're comfortable, everyone's comfortable.
100%.
Holy shit.
Dill, owner of the Bad Body, the Batman of this campaign
Batman.
for sure. The bad
8 inches.
Batman.
Batman.
Okay. So I did come with skee ball. That was the one that I was gonna come with because I love skee ball, and I think that if I had to compete in one of these arcade games, that would be the one that I would want to compete in. I enjoy air hockey very much. That's not a game that I'm actually very good at, but I do like me some air hockey. If I had to do like a straight up video game though, I like the Tekken line of the fight games. That is, if there is one of those in a pizza place or an arcade bar, you can find me there.
I also prefer
Being
the Tekken
really not
for,
very good.
like the Street Fighter based combats.
You can be a
Soul
bear,
Calibur.
and if you hit the buttons right, you can eat the other person.
Soul Calibur, especially the new ones, are good. I mean, I imagine they all have them in it now, but the Soul Calibur character creation is so fucking choice, dude.
Yep.
Do all the same stuff, but I get to look like this.
I get to be a real freak. Speaking of a real freak, my name is Lawrence, and I play. I've just realized that my mic was supposedly muted, but it was not.
Yeah.
Holy
Okay.
shit,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
like, I'm
You
talking
when
to
you
people,
when
that's
you
crazy.
leaned forward, we didn't. There was no change in your voice, actually.
Yep. I don't know. Anyway,
So you're on
that
a
threw me off my
different
whole
mic for
game.
sure.
I don't know if I am. Hold on. Am I closer now?
Yeah, but there's no sound difference.
I mean, yeah. Physically, you were closer. I could see it.
Yeah.
There's no
That's
other
why it's
microphone
fucked.
attached to this, as far as I know. Oh, there sure is.
I was gonna say you sound like
No, I bet I sound like shit.
6 to 8 feet away. Now you're muted.
Wish listing Soul Calibur.
All right, there we go. That's probably much better.
That is a
Yeah.
There we
lot.
go.
And speaking of a real freak, my name is Lawrence, and I play B-Cam,
Seamless.
the
Seamless.
lovely robot waiter handyman answering machine. He just does everything. As far as favorite arcade game, spoilers, it's House of the Dead. House of the Dead slaps. It is very difficult, but I know where all the barrels are, so I'm just going to get all the power-ups.
Oh, yeah, no, then I've definitely lost.
Yeah,
didn't-
like House of the Dead 1, 100%. I know the first 3 bosses like the back of my hand. I'm ready to go.
We'll
Love
just
that game.
follow you then.
Yep, zombie game.
If you
Zombie
can get
game.
over his shoulder and get the
Love it.
final points, there's something there at least. I might be able to skate
You do
off
not
of
want to
him.
be. You do not want to be like within like a foot of me. I'm moving too fast. I will hit you with the gun on accident, and I'll feel bad, and that will blow me off my game, and then you are paying for my continue.
In this competition, you're paying for my continue.
And I am Michael, and I play Spigot. And my arcade game of choice is the original Samurai Showdown. And I will beat all of your asses without ever drawing my blade out of its scabbard, because my character
Wow.
named Ukio had an attack that was almost unstoppable where he would slide across the floor in his Teflon socks and whack you without ever drawing the blade on his weapon. And I used to play my
Okay.
brother-in-law all the time and drove him nuts because I would beat him to death without ever actually drawing the metal part of the sword.
Say the name of the game again.
Samurai
Samurai
Showdown.
Showdown.
What is it? Is it like a Street Fighter based, like 1v1?
Yeah, but it's all sword based instead of like hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, I love it.
So, and the character I played is Tachibana Ukyo, and he's a menace.
I love the certainty of I could beat you without drawing my sword. I mean, that is your
Yes.
character's gimmick, but I
Yes.
love that it's coming into it. But also it's his gimmick, but still, like technically I wouldn't draw my fake sword either.
Yeah.
I know it so well I wouldn't even need to draw the danger of it all.
Alrighty, and then that leaves me. My name is Grace, and I play Pedal. And I'm not really an arcade, like official arcade game girly, but I am my father's daughter, so lots of skee ball. I was really good at skee ball, and I think the thing I'm best at is air hockey. I've got very quick hands and very good eyes. When we used to go to Cece's Pizza, I used to pretend like I didn't know how to play to get other kids to spend their money so I could play.
Shark 'em.
And then I didn't know what hustling was, but I would do it because I wanted to play. I had no money of my own. I was a poor child, but I'd go, oh, what is this? What is it called? Air hockey?
Hockey Shark.
Like I'd love to play.
Jeez.
I'm sorry,
We didn't have
Kick
any
'em
money
out.
because my father and I would go and use all of our quarters playing Tekken over on the other side
Yeah.
of the Cece's Pizza arcade.
They were
Grace
so
looks
they were
back
so
from that
greedy.
sadly and asks the other kids for change to play air hockey so she can
Just
fucking
like a
shark them.
Kenzie an orphan.
I think out of the game gives you what 3 or 4 rounds per money spent, and so out of 20 rounds, I'd maybe win 2.
Yeah, Urchin's got to urch. That's where it began. I should have gone into Marjorie and the mindset of 12-year-old me, really fucking wanting to play air hockey at Cece's Pizza
And you
and
just
feeling
wouldn't.
so
That's
much
why I-
bad for my brother and
That's why I
father.
recommended that book to you. That's why I
Who's the
recommended you
author?
that book.
Which book?
I know.
It's called The Name of the Wind by Patrick Rothfuss. It's a very long, very well written fantasy novel. A chunk of which,
Facts.
honestly, a good most of which comes with a really well thought out point of view of being very, very poor.
Okay.
And that is the urchin mindset. That man urched.
You got to when you're an urch.
Well, for season 2, I'll be more prepared. I'll find the audiobook version, and then it's game over.
Mm-hmm.
On the Plex.
Oh, well, then it's game over.
Okay, let's see. We did our couple things to hit here at the top. I need a pedal vision roll.
And this is my current project.
Disco.
Nice.
It's all the different panels are going to be different shades of green because I'm in a green phase right now. But this is
You
what
could
I'll
have
be
made that
working
into
on,
a
so I
Death
can stay
Star, is
focused.
all I'm saying.
Death's go.
That is true.
There's still time.
That is. Before I added any of the colors, and I asked my boyfriend what it was, he did say the Death Star, and I said, "What in my history says that I would make a Death Star?" But I love that that's the first thing you went to. I did not.
For your
go up
next
on Star
project,
Wars.
you
I
should
have
pick
respect
something
for
that's
it.
like entirely left field. Like as left field as Death Star would be, and then ask him like, what do you think it is? And you're like, no, dummy, it's
stapler.
obviously a stapler. I
You
care
guys
very
are
much
trying to give
about
me
them.
tips. I gaslight my boyfriend on a podcast that he
Yeah.
listens to.
I was gonna do it the
Yeah.
opposite I was gonna do it the opposite direction too.
It was
Just
also
make the Death Star and then say, "What do you mean? This obviously isn't the Death
Here's-
Star."
it was weird. It was weird, not an hour ago or so. I called my sister and she was hanging out with her boyfriend, and her boyfriend, what he had to say was, it's
Don't
good to
give
hear
me-
your voice again. Um,
Well, now.
Yes. Yes.
because he is a listener to the podcast, and so it is justified, but also deeply weird.
Listen,
You heard it
all
here,
right.
Josh.
Guys, he's
shit.
gonna be so upset he drives. Focus on the road, babe.
That'll be the end. That'll be the end of that bit at the end of the episode. That'll be the blooper bit for this episode for sure.
Oh, perf.
Which means everything else has to be on par. I'm not cutting a fucking thing except that joke.
that in.
Leave that in. Anyway, we need a pedal vision
Pedal
roll. I'm
vision.
holding 1 currently. If I ever have 3, you
Oh,
have to
boy.
have an immediate vision.
Ooh, that's only a 4.
You roll 2d6 plus your number?
Oh, plus my number. I mean, it was a 1 and a 3, so I don't think it's
Okay.
gonna be a lot.
Well,
Let
if
me
you,
s-
I mean,
let me scroll back up to my.
doubt you have a
character one
plus
second.
3.
I'm on
You
the
don't
moves.
have a plus 3 on anything. So that one is a 6er,
Oh,
which is MC
Wait.
holds 3. Well, that's now. If the
what do
MC,
have I done?
Have
Did
a
we do
vision.
experience? Did we update experience already? Because I looked, all my boxes are full.
No, we said we
No,
were
we're
going to
gonna do that.
this session.
God, I
hold
got
one to the side. Anyone before we're
Oh.
gonna level up here in a minute, but theoretically,
Sorry, I didn't
those
interrupt.
would be no.
I usually click it so I don't forget.
That's
then it
good.
was
I mean, I
already full.
forget that I didn't think anyone would be able to get experience before we had the moment to level up. So just keep mark 1 to the side, just mark 1 to the side, and you're gonna
Got it,
erase
sorry.
all those boxes in just a moment. No, that's totally fine. I like seeing how all the mechanics work together. So now I hold 3. Now I have 4 hold. If the MC has 3 or more, they must begin the session by spending 1. Okay. But that still keeps me at 3 or more. That's a lot.
Are you saying now Pedal has double vision?
Or that you
Tits.
have to next
Double
session
visions.
also.
Or that I have, well, if
I got
I
a
spend a
bid.
bunch, I feel like it's by spending at least 1.
Okay. I'll spend
In
2.
which case, I would like to spend 2 because I had thought out visions for this, and this is great. So Hmm. The end of last session, Pedal went quiet for a bit. You scoped over the scene. You pointed out to your team the incoming raiders to do a quick overhaul of last session. We got to the place. We got to the crash site that we were looking for. Began to scope it out before Pedal noticed some unruly types on a hill behind, preparing to
Some Mad
assault
Maxers.
some Mad Maxers. Their driving style is called spinning, and it is a real motorsport that I could never breathe real life into. This shit is crazy what they can do with cars, but I was very inspired. It's a South African motorsport called spinning. Absolutely worth a look up. This stuff is wild. What they do with vehicles. But anyway, that was their vibe, and they came whipping ass down the hill. Dill met them as the others scoped out the scene a bit, but mostly prepared for the onslaught to come. Dill distracted a couple of them, and Decam threw some knives at the last that approached. Just perfect precision, peppering each hand that pulled a gun out every time. The windshield has been broken, or shot through with bullets. I think broken through, shattered in, so no windshield at the moment. I believe that Spigot got a bullet hole, got a bullet wound, or was it Decam? One of the two of you got shot. I think
I think
it
I
was
was
Spigot.
yeah,
shot, for
Dham
sure.
took
Yep.
the damage. Yep.
Oh. Hmm. When I was listening through, I think that the choice for damage taking when the windshield was broken out for Decam throwing the knife.
I was shot, but I gave the damage to Spigot.
Yeah, it wasn't.
Hmm.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
was.
I said you're gonna give
Oh.
me the choice. That's no consequences for
Yeah,
me. Spigot.
yeah, it was more not who is taking the bullet, you or Spigot, but it is if you want to hit with this knife, the exchange is Spigot taking the bullet in that exchange, which realistically isn't really an option moment for you. It's just you do your thing, but that the negative outcome is that the gun fires one last time, hitting Spigot in this case. So Spigot should have taken that 3 damage from a bullet wound. At that, and I think that Dill took a couple from various like body stretching exercises that didn't go so well, like an eye to telescope, and when he got big and tried to get small again, that just didn't come back in right, and one of his arms is kind of floppy at his side, and one of his eyes is still about halfway down his face at the end of this fight.
Well, I'm fairly sure that since we're at the top of a new session, because I'm under 11 harm, I come back to full.
Is
I
that?
could be
I mean, is that what that
incorrect on
says?
Let me see.
Is that what
That
that
would be
says?
crazy.
That is crazy, but it is possible because this shit is about.
I mean, I
Oh,
also
Gabe,
get an
though,
experience
you
point every
are.
time I have a vision. So
Yeah,
No amount of
Dill
harm
is
can make your
supposed to
life
be rolling
untenable.
degeneration
Treat-
at the beginning of every session too, right? Or is that not one you took?
No,
That's
that's
not
not
one
one
you
I took. Yeah, the fun thing about my character is that basically all of the moves that I can take on level up, so thank you for adding all of these advanced moves. All of the character moves I can take on level up are actually negatives.
Well, those advanced moves are for later. It's like a level 6 and above thing, so
Well,
good
we'll
luck.
see then.
But what are you? I'm
Let's
reading through your
see.
stuff.
No amount of harm can make your life untenable. Treat harm past 11 as painful and temporarily debilitating, but not lasting. At the beginning of the next session, reduce your harm to 6.
Okay, so if you're above 6, you reduce down to 6, which should just be 2 damage strokes. I don't know what you were at, but you reduce down to 6. And I want to give a moment also for as that like battle is calming down. Petal is sort of inside of herself in her brain, her head swimming since she has connected familiarity with one of these vehicles here in front of her. Two of these two crashed sort of wasteland raider vehicles in front of you two, or in front of the 4 of you, as we sit in sort of the back of the food van and recover from the battle. Everyone has to at least spend 1 barter now, but since we've just left town, I am willing to let that be like bandages to heal up to 1 harm. Or if you don't have that, then that's like a snacks and food for everyone. But except for Dill, who has a different thing.
I toil not and yet am arrayed in charnel splendor.
And I think that that's accurate because after your combat, you sucked on the tailpipe of one of those cars. So you're like, you just fed.
And if we want, like, I think debilitated one of the spinner vehicles, which I have now watched a video of people spinning, and I can say that it is the art of getting out of a car while simultaneously drifting the car.
Drifting though is like, it feels like
I mean, it's doing
step
donuts. It's
Yeah.
we're doing donuts. We are burning rubber in a circle, and then we're
Oh,
getting out
I
of the
think that
car, and then
happens.
maybe sitting in the window of the open door of the car while
That
also still
happens in all
spinning.
of like the Tom Cruise movies and the Fast and Furious movies, right? They be
I don't know.
no.
They do
I bet
Yeah.
they do a little bit of that in the
in
Fast and Furious
racing,
movies.
it is called drifting. Spinning, I was like listening to a
This feels like donuts.
documentarian
Is what
on
these
it.
folks are doing.
Yeah.
Donuts is a part of it for sure, but there's just I feel like donuts is a trick, drifting is a trick, both of which are like spinning tricks. But it's just like I don't know, like how man, it looks like the car is on ice. Like the fucking how do you do that with a vehicle? That shit's wild.
I can't even drive stick slow, let alone drive stick doing a bunch of other
I
crazy
can't
things.
even shift gears, let alone drift. But
Hey, my
everyone
roommate
should
can
have
drive stick, and
a
it is hard.
yeah. Everyone should have a start of the session move. I don't know. I'm reading through other people's, but I may have not put them on here expecting to not do it. I know Spigot doesn't have it, and I know Dill doesn't have it.
I have no idea what mine means.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop into the core rulebook. I don't think it's not the special. The special is when you have sex, which for you is even a
At the
conversation
beginning
to have.
of the session,
Oh, you have it,
roll
okay.
plus weird. On a 10 plus, hold 1 plus 1. On a 7 to 9, hold 1. At any
Okay.
time, either you or the MC can spend your hold to have you already be there with the proper tools and knowledge, with or without any explanation why. If your roll was
Is it
hold 1
moving
plus
still?
1, take plus 1 forward now. On a
So
miss, the MC holds 1 and you can spend it to have you already be there but be somehow caught, pinned, or trapped.
which one is that? That's Bone Feel. That's a different move. That's one of the moves you did not take at the start. When you level up, you can probably take that move, but I need to find. There is in this book. Let me see. What are you? You are a savvy head. It's just a
Yes.
section I kind of skipped over apparently, but didn't realize I did. I'm finding your book now. I'll find everyone's here real quick. Savvy Head's barter thing is
Barter thing.
barter. At the beginning of the session, spend 1 or 2 barter for your lifestyle, or if you can't or won't, tell the MC and answer her questions. If you yeah, yours is like the most straightforward, which is spend 1 or 2 barter at the beginning of a session. That's just like lifestyle stuff. Think your food. Think, in this case, I'm allowing it to go for bandages as well. Repairing the vehicle, I'll also allow it to be, because that feels like a cool thing, like a moment to maintain the group and how we spend that to maintain the group. Barter can be literally anything, especially in this, environment where we have multiple broken down vehicles. You could take a windshield that's not totally destroyed, put it on using you have the glue to do it, and that's your barter, right? But yours is spend 1 or 2 barter for your lifestyle. So you can spend up to 2 to do something a little bit more intense.
Can I spend 1 to patch up the car?
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Yeah, exactly like that. The windshield from one of the vehicles that Dill disabled is totally fine. He went through he didn't go through the windshield on one of them. He went through the engine on one of them. So that engine is totally ruined, but the windshield wasn't destroyed, I don't believe. And so you're able to just take that off and using some glue you have in your chassis.
Yep, I've always got some super glue in there.
Dill's
My
yours was particular. Ravenous, right? No.
No. Ravenous is a move. Lily of the Pits exempts me from the barter interaction.
Yes, and that is the one that you just did.
Yeah, I do have an amount of barter, and so I'm gonna try and keep that in mind because that is also just the money.
It is. It is.
And so if I do want to be arrayed in something other than my personal sense of charnel splendor, I'll have to keep an eye on that. But for the moment, we're huffing that tailpipe, baby.
Grace, yours is also normal and straightforward. It's spend 1 or 2 barter.
Okay. Well, so I'm not gonna have a vision.
You will. This is.
Okay.
I just want to get through the mechanics of all of this before I dive into the narrative, because we'll just probably rock off of narrative.
Okay. I guess I'm just not understanding how I can spend barter to do something when I'm waiting for a vision to happen. I guess like I didn't take any damage if someone else is fixing the car. I guess I can find bandages for Spigot and I can grab a rag from my belt, a clean rag, because that would be icky to grab a dirty one. And a press. Is it his shoulder? Shoulder? Or where'd he get shot?
I think it was shoulder because I was sitting in the driver's seat, so there was not a lot of me above the dashboard.
We'll say
Okay,
it was
I grab it and I
clean entry exit too.
I press like real hard.
Good, yeah.
Sure it's not
1
bleeding.
barter's worth of hard I press.
Yeah,
so
it's not
that
like a,
I
it's not like a
press,
big
yes.
rag.
Yeah, and
yeah, just like Marjorie, I'll help you, but it's not going to feel real good.
I press really hard.
I mean,
you're just so distracted. Your head is swimming with this. You can tell oncoming vision, but in the mechanics of it all, it's just taking a little bit longer to get there. So we did that. Leveling up is super straightforward. If you have that full bar, the moment that you get that full bar, there's no other mechanic for it, so I'll allow it to happen instantly and in the middle of sessions. You can erase that full bar, and now that's the full bar you got to get to, and then you level up. The way that your character sheet looks, let me see how I put this on here before I say it out loud. I may not have. Of course, I did not. So level ups are split up on your character sheet. I'm going to send them all. I'm going to just like screenshot them and send them to the group. I'll put them on your actual page later. But they're all a slight bit different. So unfortunately, it's going to take me just a second. I didn't realize I didn't put that on there either. That's on me. Where is the no one? Level up.
And I had no beginning action either.
I'm sorry?
And I had no beginning action.
Thank
no
you,
barter.
Mike.
No barter for.
I know that your barter is taken care of because of your job as the Waterbearer. But that I actually might just be able to look on your character sheet for. Let me see. Spigot. Waterbearer moves. No, Spigot. No. Just a bonus extra thing that's, of course, on your character sheet, which I will scroll to here in a moment. So what I just screenshot, this is Grace's level up flow. I'm putting it just into the podcast chat. Damn it. Screenshot that. So the way that this is split up for everyone to see, everyone's will basically look like this, but the words will be different. The first section is your main level ups, the experience to improve, all in that section. You level up, you select one of those, you unlock it, you get it. Some of them are just stats, some of them are other abilities, some of them you get to pick abilities from other playbooks. Those abilities will not grant you things. So if it's like I pick the ability to run a cult, like if you don't have a cult, you should not pick that ability because you will not be able to engage with it, right? It's not going to grant you things in people, but it will. There are a lot of other abilities, like, take any of fucking Dill's, for example, where he engages with poisons and gets to ignore intro, barter, and things like that. This next one coming is for Dill, because I know you leveled up 2, I think.
Yeah, and I've also pulled up mine as a PDF here.
Perfect. Did anyone else level up?
Yes.
You leveled up as well, and I am on your sheet now. Okay, let me find your barter here. Yours is different.
Are the
source
ones
provides for your
below the
day-to-day
line the advanced, like the above level 6?
Yes, everything below the line is for above level 6. So the first
Got it.
5 levels have to be spent in this top section. If you level to level 6, you can still pick something from this top section, but now you can also pick something from the bottom section. Anything at level 6 or above, you can pick from the bottom section. If you ever change to a new playbook, like entirely, there's a couple like change your character, retire character, pick a new playbook. In that new playbook, you have to get to level 5 before you can take the advanced moves from that playbook as well.
Get a move from another playbook is definitely interesting.
The barter for Mike, I think your barter is going to change to normal with everyone else, because your barter here on this list is the source provides for your day-to-day living. So while you're there, you need not spend barter for your lifestyle at the beginning of a session. But
Fair enough.
you have left your source.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah, so that can, like I said, at least 1 barter, up to 2. 2 is, gets you something more impactful. Sometimes I may call for a second if someone has something big to do with their barter whenever we're doing these sessions, but at least 1, at a minimum, think of it as snacks. Everyone needs to take a little snack and a water break, which is great for you.
Yeah.
How do you spend your barter?
I would make sure that it's time for snacks and water.
Perfect.
We've gone through a stressful shootout. We've got to stay hydrated and fed. Spigot would be totally down for that.
As you go to hand pedal her water, she doesn't reach a hand up to grab it. She doesn't even really take note of you. She is staring blankly at this wreck. Pedal slightly dizzy. Your vision starting to blur in, blur out before it blurs back in, and you are seeing the vehicles in front of you, but separated and on the floor of a working like mechanic's garage. You are seeing multiple folks come to and fro repairing them. They seem to be damaged in some way, though nothing like destroyed vehicles that you see in front of you. They just seem to be getting repairs. You see your arm point out from in front of you, like the first person shooter style, right? Like you see your arm come up and you point at one of the doors, and a couple people come over and they pick up the door and they put it on, and it is this door with the insignia of the Greenbrook Mall security team. All the malls have that like mall security team, and they try to label their cars to look like a cop, but very clearly, if you take a second to read it, they're not a cop. But they try to look like that so that they can spook you into a sense of safety. That's the door that they've just put on, seemingly by order of you. And your vision for, I think, the first time, this vision has been silent the whole time, sort of an eerie note, maybe over the top, but silent in that you didn't hear yourself order the person, but you saw your arm come up and you pointed and you did it. But the voice of Spigot saying pedal, comes through your, like cuts through some of that vision, and it kind of fogs away. Left now a destroyed door where the insignia is sort of half burnt up and burnt over, but you can still see the top of that crest. You know that's the Greenbrook Mall crest. And that it was put on in this garage. But you see Petal trying to hand you a cup of water, seemingly
You
having
mean
tried a couple
Spigot?
times. Yes, Spigot trying to hand Petal a cup of water.
Oh, thank you. Sorry. I take it, and I'm thirsty. Visions make me so thirsty, guys. You don't even know. You don't even know how thirsty I get. It's tough.
I think you were more than thirsty.
Yeah, that was just some crazy fucking shit we just saw, you know? Like,
Hmm.
did you see that guy? I kind of like point with my eyes over towards Dill. I ain't seen nothing like it. Or at least not that I can remember. You know.
Press 3 to not think about the implications of that person's body.
Yeah. I give 3 a little boot. Kind of like subtly though, like try to be like, hell yeah, like
Yeah, you
quietly
subtly
agreeing with
press
you.
it, and I say, agreed.
Loudly. I sent Mike's there last as well for level up stuff.
Excellent.
They all look virtually the exact same, but in order it was Grace, Gabe's, Mike's. Now it's not a level up, but for Lawrence there is a mechanic that you're gonna feel like you leveled up, but still be kind of behind. And that is that at the beginning of any session, anyone can call for a change in highlighted stats, in which we just redo the thing. You get to pick the person who has your highest history gets to pick one of your stats, and then the MC gets to pick one of your stats. We just basically redo checked highlighted stats, and yeah. And I'm gonna call for that now so that Lawrence can possibly get some more experience this session, since last time all of his stuff was blocked up by his own abilities. So we'll just take
It's
that
either
in normal,
Dill
like
or
probably
Petal.
order. Yeah, Dill. Who has the highest history with you? Gabe, are you there? You
I
disappeared
am
from.
here.
Okay.
Let's see. My history with him is 1.
That's your highest?
I don't know. That's what my history is with. Oh, who has the highest
yeah, who
history
has
with
the highest with
Oh,
like
okay.
for your
Spigot.
sheet? Spigot. Okay, so Spigot, you get to pick one of Dill's stats to be his new highlighted stat. So basically, unhighlight your stats now, and then we're gonna go through and re-highlight stats. Yeah.
Okay.
And at any point at the beginning of the session, anyone can call for this. Not just me, but anyone can. I'm just doing it for Lawrence to kick it off.
Well, I mean, after that battle, I would say that it would be hard because he goes aggro well.
Yeah.
I am
after what he did to
designed
those
for it.
vehicles. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
Thanks
was
for the
impressed
free
by that
level up.
behavior.
Got that. And then I'll say your other one is I mean, I'm just interested in Hot Dill. I think Hot Dill being a highlighted stat for the
Dill.
times he is hot.
boy.
He rolls for hot, like should be
All
an
right.
experience for him. It's gonna be for us.
Alrighty. Those are marked for me.
Hard and hot. Lawrence, you're up next, I believe. Who has the highest history with you?
It's between Dill and Petal. They're both at a +1.
That's up to you two. Or I guess that's up to you then, Lawrence.
Baby Dill.
Gabe, what stat of Lawrence's most interests you now? When you
David
turned on,
Dale?
yeah, when you turned on your camera, you then disappeared the camera again. But
Yeah, no,
okay.
my as soon as I turned the camera on, Discord crashed again. So
Oh.
we're gonna leave it
Oh.
off. I don't know
Yep.
what the deal is. I don't know what changed. But
They gave you Nitro.
They
They can
gave
take
you
it back.
Nitro. I don't want it.
It's one of the new features.
I mean, to me, the thing that is most interesting is your +2 weird. So we're gonna go with that. I don't know what Ham's doing rocking that +2.
We'll find out.
But that's interesting.
Then for me, I was gonna go weird. You got me. You fucking got me. I'm gonna go. Oh man, I did this to be helpful, so I'm not trying to be unhelpful now. I think weird was the helpful thing to you.
I mean,
I'm gonna
anything that's
pick
positive.
I'm not even looking at his stats. I'm just gonna pick hard because that was that last session. That was hard as fuck, dude. You threw a bunch of knives and nailed them every time. No challenge, no stress.
Yeah, and I wasn't even the one that got shot in the end. It's
Yeah,
great.
right. What the
So
fuck?
his favorite stats are now weird and hard.
Weird and hard.
Okay.
Next up would be Mike.
Me too,
who has
actually.
Wait, those are yours as well?
Yep.
I love it.
Oh, we're gonna combat the crap out of somebody.
Oh yeah, we are. I'm optimized for it.
My highest history is with Pedal.
Okay,
Pedal.
let me
Nice.
select his DDaD. Okie dokie. Scroll, scroll, scroll. Okay. I think I would like you to. I think I would be interested to see a +1 on sharp. I think as a water bearer, you have, a sense of sharpness about you and awareness, maybe that
All right.
you like figured out how to use the car, so that means you're pretty smart.
Wait a second. Gabe, your stats weren't the same as Lawrence's because I picked hot for yours. Lawrence didn't get hot, did he? He got hard and
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
right.
Yep.
I just wanted to
Okay.
make sure.
Well, then I'm knocking out weird and putting in hot. I'm hot and hard.
Yeah, hot and hard. Yeah, that's you.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Talk about things I don't like hearing.
Yeah.
And then
Okay,
my
hypocrite.
stat
We're about to play this
interject-
character in a way that you don't like hearing.
to
Unfortunately.
interject
Yeah,
over hot and
yeah.
hard.
Wait a
I'm
minute,
gonna.
You said I wasn't. You said this wasn't gonna happen, and you picked
I'm not
hot.
gonna seduce you.
Ugh.
It is not my actions that would cause that at this point.
Get a +1.
You don't never get a +1 for these. You just get experience to marked stats.
Or experience, yeah.
Yeah, just to make sure. And then Mike, I'm gonna pick for you cool, because you kept it calm, cool, and collected even when you got shot. You like stayed true.
All
You
right.
picked up your gun. You shot him back. You didn't, it didn't get to your head. Cool, calm, collected.
I will be sharp and cool.
And then Pedal, who has the highest experience with you?
Spigot has a +3.
Oh, all right.
And do I erase the +3 and it's
Nope.
back to 0, or is it just stay?
This one just stays. So you're just picking who is going to pick your
Okay.
new highlighted stats.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna stick with weird because she's still behaving awfully weird.
No one's that thirsty.
Yeah.
Dang. And I'm
So
gonna stick with sharp.
Oh,
That's
I
the other
know.
one I was
I'm
thinking. They're good numbers for you.
yeah.
But you've noticed things really well and you've been a little cagey, so that makes sense. I mean, from his point of view for the weird, but for me, for
Yeah.
the sharp, it's just that you've been very you know what? I'll switch it. I'll go to hard because you showed off
Oh.
like how fucking hard you can be when you were dealing with Fontaine.
Mm,
And that
that
was a
is
cool
true. Yeah.
moment. That was interesting. It shifted the needle in a way. I like that. Hard and weird. Hard and weird. Okay, we've re-highlighted stats. And again, at any point, anyone, or at the beginning of any session, anyone can call for a new redo. Always based in the same sort of order of your highest history and then me. Cool. So pedal. Yes. Oh yes.
I have a question. Sorry.
Yes.
So you gave us these thingies to level up in. Um, where do I find the like playbooks again to like see what I want to pick to use for my level up?
Yeah.
Can I just have a
Yours.
navigation pause perhaps before we get into the
Yeah, for sure. Let me just double
storybook?
check what this says here. Which ones are you questioning? Just so I can. I'm looking for it
Well,
here.
I just didn't know where to find it.
Oh,
If
get
you
a
could
move
just if
from
I could be
another
pointed in the
playbook.
direction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like just out of curiosity.
That will be in the Google Drive in the
God,
either
I got it.
extended playbooks and reference or the core rulebook for the PDF. It's going to be, oh boy, in Dungeons, Drive-Ins, and Dice shared folder with you guys, and then the Epoch World folder, core rulebook or extended playbooks and reference. Core rulebook is going to be the easy main ones, and extended playbooks is where we get the weird stuff like you and Gabe's class, and I think Mike's class is actually in there too. Most of your classes, damn. Any of the book. That one's a look over because there's a lot of playbooks to parse.
Thank you. Sorry to interrupt the
No,
flow.
100%. Please take your time on that. You've just had I think that's a good mental space actually to be in for coming out of a vision, right? But yeah, we are here. The battle has died down. We are bandaged up, fed up, and hydrated. Our vision has been had. I spent 2 points on that vision, just to give it a quick 1 in, 1 out. Little clue for pedal.
Sorry. I heard my name. Are you talking to me? I was zoning in. I'm so sorry.
No, I'm actually now just leaving it up in the air for what you guys want to do. I think anyone can see it in the wreckage of it. That insignia for, all that remains might just say like green B on the outside of a circle. But you can, with the flyer that has been passed around the group and seen, except by DCAM, everyone may have seen it. I guess that I don't know that you would piece that immediately to the Greenbrook Mall. So yeah, you just have that little bit of an insignia that says like green B, and then the rest is sort of burnt over on one of
What
these
is
doors.
Greenba? Have any of you ever been to Greenba?
No.
No.
Me neither.
Yeah. Don't
Let's
look
go
at me.
home.
Can I
Is Greenba home?
can I roll to like look more at the vehicle now that people aren't shooting at us?
Yes,
that?
yeah. That is just going to be the
Just
bread
I
and
can just roll
butter.
2d6.
Yep, do something under fire, which is the fire of needing a clue in this case. Plus cool.
2 plus 4 plus. Oh, nothing. Dang. I thought I was gonna. Yeah, I guess I'm not reading as such. So that's just I failed.
You need to
Dang.
mark
Sucks.
experience. But I think with that the rest of these cars are put together in a very piecemeal situation. It's just like a Honda Civic door bolted on with the tailpipe of a Plymouth, like it just like totally random. You know what I mean? They wouldn't have, I guess, those brands of cars, but just to give it an example of like just totally piecemeal put together. The only real indicator to something is this the outer edge of this insignia that is the insignia for the Green Book Mall security, but just says Green B because the rest is burnt over.
What did you find in the green car?
It just looks like a bunch of parts put together, doesn't it? And I kind of like kick one of the doors a little bit.
Reminds me of me. Perhaps I could have a look and see if there's anything useful. Press 2 for I'm gonna scramble some parts into side of my little chest cavity. Let me see what's loose.
Hell yeah, scramble away. And I press 2.
I just start grabbing stuff. Anything that isn't nailed
I
down.
hand him a few things. I'm like, this one? You want this one?
Yes.
Oh, sure.
I don't know.
Random
Yes.
metal bits and bobs.
Despite previously knowing shit about cars, I don't know shit now. So
You used to know about cars?
well, I
when
thought
was
so,
that?
This just I'm not sure. I don't remember much. You know?
That's clear.
Here, and I hand him like another piece of car. Like here, and I put it in his face, like near where I think his face is, just like shoving it in his face. Because now.
Thank you.
What next, team?
What'd you figure out?
Yeah, Spigot needs some sort of clues to move forward on, and so he's. I guess
all I've learned is that Petal used to know about cars. Is that a clue?
Not sure. I'm not sure that qualifies. So Spigot's gonna want to get out and have a look around now that he's been patched up and the battle's over.
No, Lawrence has a thing speak roll, and then there's a open your brain if you just want something.
Yeah,
It's sort of like
hoping
need a hand roll, basically.
I'm hoping for inspiration or something will dawn on me, or I might begin to put pieces together.
Yeah, give me that open your brain roll. Give me that open.
If
your
you
brain
roll bad, I will talk to
weird.
That is an 8. Because I have no bonuses on weird.
An impression. A few of the pieces of these cars seem to all come from a similar place. Like you, after peeking them over, especially with Pedal opening things up and going through them as well, tossing things out to decam as they collect. You're able to see a lot more of the interior car door panel, or the randomized seats that have been filled in here over time, or replaced and then replaced again. A lot of these pieces seem to be of a similar set of vehicles. There is like I don't know what to call them, on the front of trucks that come up. It's like a cage over the grate, over the like
Cattle guard.
Yeah,
bar.
yeah. I guess they are cattle guards. I see them on trucks or like security vehicles. I feel like they're just there to be imposing.
Yeah.
But that, like a couple pieces that look like bigger, more hefty pieces. And while they are makeshift put onto two separate vehicles, with that, you get the idea that they could have come from a similar fleet. So a lot of these cars were probably piecemealed in the same place, and they're
Okay.
using pretty sturdy pieces to like outfit their vehicles with. They have like access to if those security vehicles don't work, let's put it on an engine that does. But now we have all these pieces that are a little bit beefier, a little bit stronger as a car.
Okay. I would share that with the group as they're picking parts off of the car.
Yes, these parts are very high quality. I think. You know what? I'm going to ask it a question. And Decam, he sidles up to the side of the car and he sort of leans an arm up on the car, crosses one foot behind the other, and he says, "Hey, baby, where are you from?" And I'm gonna roll a things speak roll.
Okay.
Press 2 to let me take you out for dinner. I rolled plus weird is a 7.
Things speak on a 7.
Things speak on a 7.
Ask 1.
Um. Dang, hey baby, where are you from? Isn't one of the questions.
Hey baby, where you from isn't one of them. No.
Who made this? Hey baby, who made you? I think that's worse.
Yeah.
There's also junk just strewn about the cars, bullet casings, scraps of metal that were just probably sitting on the floorboards as they drove through the savannas after this Waterbearer's vehicle. But there's also like pads of like ticket paper. Like, they'd pull them off of a they'd write on the ticket, they'd pull off the 3 sheets, the pink, the white, and the yellow, right? They'd tack yours, then they have the next set of sheets for the next ticket. It seems like they were just using this as like notepads, right? Writing down little bits, little like different, I don't know, lists of stuff. 15 bolts, hex nut bolts, 30
Granny's recipe.
just like lists. Or the next one is like I don't know, a list of different guns or ammunition. The next one's just like different basic maths strewn out, like someone was just using it as a piece of scratch paper. Like it literally is just like a little scrapbook, notebook. You don't get much from what's written inside. It all seems very, very just like I needed a place to write down my thoughts, my random thought really quick, so I could get it together in my head as I guess as I do. But at the top, it is a ticket book for the Greenbrook Mall security, and now that like word set is in front of you. There's probably a little insignia up there. You like hold it up to the door and you measure it and you like look at it and you hold it up to the door again. And you can tell that the insignia from this is from the Greenbrook Mall security staff. And putting all that together, like, so are these like heftier pieces. They could probably come from some of their larger trucks that they could have had in the, definitely like the bigger, heftier pieces are from security vehicles.
Everyone, I know where this baby is from. It's not Greenba. It's Greenbrook Mall. Security. Is that where we need to go?
I think
I
so.
suppose so. I
Did
don't know.
anyone see
where
where
that
this
is.
car came from? Press 2 to remember.
I pointed in the direction. I don't need
Yeah.
to press 2. And I know exactly what direction it is, and I point in it.
Mm-hmm.
Press 3 to go
Exactly.
that direction.
To
Press
the north
4
of
to
where
lay
you're
down
at.
and do
Pedal
nothing.
just points like a
obviously.
compass to the north.
Obviously north. Yeah, I knew that.
Press
That way.
6 to lay down and cry. I vote for 2.
Yeah, let's hey banana. You going?
Let's split.
Are you here, Gabe? Did your Discord crash? Is your Hello?
Dang.
I'm here. Sorry,
okay.
I was
Just want to make sure.
figuring out and entering in my new move.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm coming along.
All right, then I guess we hopefully can drive without too many issues. Oh, probably should try and fix the. Did you fix the thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought Dean
Ham's
had
been
windshield's
fixed
fine?
the
I
windshield.
fixed the windshield.
Oh, sweet. All right, let me
and the
make
team
like a tree and get out of here.
makes like a tree and gets out of here. And
Spigot, can we ride with the music?
Oh, you can't ride without it, I'll say. And as Spigot turns it on, and the car roars to life in its clunky fashion because it's a loud one. The mechanics start back up of the Dickel song. I'm Dickel and I'm here. I'm Dickel and I'm here as it comes out, like jets out into the savannah. I'm Dickel and
I
I'm
thought we
here.
found the button to turn that off.
We did, but
Yeah.
it starts again whenever you ignite the vehicle.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
true. You
well.
have to make the decision every time
Uh-huh.
to turn it off. It's only an off button.
Am
The
I
default
sitting
is
in the front
on.
seat?
That's up to you.
Am I sitting in am I sitting in the passenger seat?
I know
Because I
that
was 4, or maybe I was in the back.
if we
I
leave,
ride with my nose eyes sticking outside the back.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it all depends upon where's Dill.
Yeah, Dill, where are you? Where are you sitting?
You ride shotgun or what?
Yeah, I think Dill's in the back.
Then can I roll? Is there a way to roll to remember which button to press? Then press it. So I thought
Oh,
you
to
should have
turn
a
it
thing of
off?
surprise, and if that's playing, that might not be great.
You know what?
If we're headed,
Grace,
It's surprising to me every time.
I'll give Pedal an opportunity. Why don't you?
is that even?
I have something on my mind more in I think this moment as well. Why don't you just do something under fire? Roll plus cool.
Okay.
Or basic roll.
Okay, that's just another 6. I don't.
Okay, you know what button. This is confusing in here.
Oh, I
In
do?
here, a lot of
Alright.
these buttons and the fact that there's so many pedals on the floor. Something feels interesting about that to you, but it's engaging. You're interested. You're like watching the way that Spigot moves his feet. That's kind of focusing, but I mean, you reach to press one of the buttons and Spigot stops you and he moves your hand towards the right button and you push the
I'm trying
third
to be
of the
really
three.
sneaky about it. I want it to be like, just really quiet. Just gonna press
Yeah,
that.
and then the I'm Jekyll just drains out as it comes to a halt, and you guys drive in quietness across the savannas towards the Greenbrook Mall, at direction of Petal, who continues to point Spigot in the northern towards the north. And a couple hours go by. The capital city, main large metropolis, looming closer and closer on the horizon. But
Ham is treated to the sight of Dill poking his eye back in.
I wish I could delete my memory banks.
You hear a squeash as it makes its hole back in his head.
Unfortunately, I remember every call.
I can't delete that from my banks. Drawing your attention I just like the use of cresting hills as you drive, and like resets our vision, I guess. As you crest a hill here, like I said, city looming ever larger on the horizon. Something else draws the attention of the two in the front seat. You see overgrown and lightly sand, covered tumbleweed rolling to and fro, the remnants of a road that is easy to get yourself on, though bumpy, easy to get on it, and it stretches down the hillside and out across the savannah, about maybe another 5-minute drive down there, but you can see I guess the remnants still of a parking complex, a 2-story concrete compound, I guess, sitting in front of a massive dome of black. The black sort of just sucking in the light around it, a void in its space. Shapes lightly shift across its surface. Neon triangles of orange and blue squares and green circles lightly cascade down its sides and towards the ground before seemingly just beginning at the top of this dome again and recascading down the side in a very slow, almost hypnotic pattern. You can see the abandoned and falling apart parking structure breaking your sight in between this massive, almost force field style dome surrounding what you can see signage pointing to be the Greenbrook Mall, maybe like half of the giant sign that once remained to carved with the Greenbrook Mall like insignia remains like half standing and weathered with time, but putting the pieces that you've seen together, it's easy to see what that insignia is. But it's pretty dead out here. You don't see any like cars moving to and fro. There's no like motion or action besides the drifting of tumbleweeds. And this light cascading dome.
Oh boy, I can't wait to get a pretzel.
Oh.
Spigot is very cautious about just driving pell-mell up to this mall and thinks maybe we ought to be a little more cautious as we approach.
Cautious. That deserves a soundtrack, yes? From the special button?
No. Special button is for later.
Press 3 to anticipate the special button.
For vibes, I'll send a picture of of what I'm imagining this void to, give you the vibe of.
Schrodinger's button.
This little
Right.
force field as it lightly cascades down.
Where is this force field?
Oh,
Just
yeah.
minor
90s
ass
character
force field?
improvements.
I just see it looks like a bowling alley's pattern.
Yeah, that takes me back to every mall in the 80s and early 90s.
Yeah. It reminds me of like the shapes you see on the side of the screen as the narrator talks about what is about to happen on an episode of like, I don't know, what was that show with like, was the Will Smith show? Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, right? Like
Yeah.
this feels like the background
Yeah.
for on the next episode of Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as they're jumping up and down Disney Channel. Yeah, anyway, you guys are at the top of this hill.
Do we want to park a way off and sneak our way
Are we
in?
there
Do
yet?
we want to
Yeah. We're going over there.
Are we going
I point
right
to
to
the
the parking
force field.
structure?
Bill pokes
or-
his head up front. Oh, that's a big building.
I believe it is the Greenba.
I've heard of this. The Greenba.
We
The
gonna
Green
we gonna
Book
park?
Yeah.
I don't see a park
Maybe
anywhere.
not there.
I don't
Just
think we
attack
want
on
to be so
both of
far
those.
away.
The one bit of the sign that still remains is definitely just Greenba, because of course it
Greenba.
has to be. And then there is a sign above that parking structure, big carved sign as you guys scope it out, I guess, a little bit more intently, that says Greenbrook Park, but the ing structure is like falling off.
Oh, there's one. Still, the park is over there.
Then that's where we should park.
All right. Well, keep your eyes peeled for movement. Not literally, Dill. Don't peel your eyes.
Don't peel your eyes.
My nose is always peeled.
And you approach the Greenbrook parking structure slowly and cautiously, though as you do, still no movement jumps out at you. No one lying and hiding as you approach. People with guns don't come out of nowhere. It's just it's kind of eerily quiet and still out here, minus the wind pushing through the what remains of the parking structure. There's definitely some parking spaces down here as you enter in, and we'll say even what remains of like half the ramp to get up to the second level, though that's always up to you. As you pulled in, though,
No.
as you pull in, you can see the front, the almost like a little entryway. What once held sliding glass doors seems to have been replaced by pretty brutal wrought iron and sheet metal walls. This entrance portico on top a structure built of the same metal in the shape of a giant coil around a thin bar that goes up to the top, and at the top a little pad that sits up there, and then positioned on top. All this is metal, right? Just a little like metal representation of a pad. And then sitting up on top of that is a gleaming silver ball. Everything else wrought iron, but this ball bright and silver standing in front of the void of shifting shapes behind it. And you pull in and park in the parking structure. The wind pulling through, leaving you in this sort of abandoned quiet.
So, is there a key fob on the keys for this? The Dickle the Pickle Mobile? The Dilgo?
No, the Dilgo has a regular old fashioned key for sure.
Regular
You
old-fashioned
lock it,
good
it
shape.
goes Dickle.
I love the imagery of just chirping the alarm as we walk away from this abandoned parking lot.
It is. The keys are shaped like a pickle, so regular in function, but shape pickle.
I like it. I like it.
Oh, that's awesome. It only works for this vehicle.
No, you know what? No, I mean we're in sci-fi future land. It is just a regular old turnkey, but like the top of the end of the pickle comes off and there's a button under there.
So you gotta pop open the end of the pickle and then you can chirp it.
Mm-hmm.
And the
Alright.
chirp says Dickle.
Yep. Dickle. When you unlock it, it also says Dickle in the same tone. So you don't fully know which one you've
Yeah.
done unless you
No,
look
I
at the
don't
button.
know. Yeah.
That's okay. I didn't leave anything in there. Now, what are we here for? What does it look like?
I also have these questions.
Answer us now.
Why are we here?
We are here to find the missing part to the source, which we must take back.
Hey guys, I'm so sorry. We're getting really bad hail right now. I think we're getting another microstorm, and I think I have to end early to go put my car,
Yep.
clear out the garage and put our cars in because we're getting like golf ball hail
Yeah,
right
we
Yeah,
got
you
it.
take
Taylor.
care
of that.
Yeah.
Definitely good
Go
on
take
that.
care of
So,
that.
Yep.
sorry guys.
Be-
I'll
be safe.
if it's not before 9, I don't know. Hopefully not. I'll text y'all.
Hit your stuff,
Okay.
yeah.
Sorry. Thanks.
No
Yeah.
worries.
Bye.
So you're a single-celled bacteria, and
A shorter one. I think
A lot
I'll
of mechanics
probably
in this one.
fold this in with a following session. Which is totally cool because once you chop together all the mechanics discussion, will be a lot shorter than it recorded.
good to know though. I have a better understanding of the game now for sure.
Yeah, I mean, we got to do it once the first time we hit any of this, and the first when we hit a
Yep.
stopgap with anything, it's always good to go back and figure out what that was so that we can just play as intended beyond that. So, I think that's always learning a new game.
Yeah, don't want any nerds in the comments telling us we did it wrong.
Yeah, right.
And if
Well,
I did,
also-
it was intentionally.
Yeah, right. We need to know what rules we want to break in order to break them properly. But yeah. Cool. Then I think we'll just leave it there as we park in the garage. We'll come back next time and probably just jump right in because we didn't get to do our ending history. We didn't get to like wrap as normal. So we'll probably just like, hey, refresh. We drove. We're at the mall. Big force field in front of us. Let's just kick off here.
Cool.
You
I
know,
touch
we
the
can
force
I like
field and say,
we
hey,
can
baby, how
intro
you doing?
question for us to like warm up for the moment of talking. I still do
Yeah,
like that
yeah.
that we talked about, but you know, unless
Yeah,
it's
just
better
make it a not very good one.
than this intro, it'll be removed. Whichever one's better, I'll keep. Okay, Craig, thank you for all your work. I'm going to disconnect from here. Everyone, thank you for everything. Good session.
All right,
We learned
awesome.
the mechanics, and we'll dive into this force field next time.
Yes.
Nice
Sounds
night.
good.
Good night.
Night, everybody.
Later, gang.